raised the conventional feedlot beef for years, and after I came back from school, I decided that I couldn't do that anymore, and so I started doing grass-fed beef. And so I was doing that when people ask, when you said I raised grass-fed beef, and they look at you and go, well, isn't all beef grass-fed? You know, there was such a disconnect between the producer and the product that you had to start from square one. Feedlots are still predominant. About 9/10 of the beef produced in the United States is put in feedlots and fat. And so the reason I went to pork is I wanted to diversify. So I wanted to get another enterprise in just rather than beef. And I think the beef industry, the grass-fed beef industry is going to really take off, and it's going to become very, very competitive. So I wanted to have another enterprise that I could round it out with. So the idea of when you put a beef in a feedlot, the conversion rate is about 8 pounds of grain to 1 pound of gain. So that's one of the reasons it's so inefficient, and it will be phasing out eventually. And the product isn't particularly good for you. It changes the fatty acid makeup. A pig is different. He's monogastric. He has, if you were to raise a pig in confinement, you could do it on about 3 pounds of grain to 1 pound of gain. So that conversion rate is better. Different product. It's just a completely different product. Oh my God.
Now, did I get you right? So yours are boars or pigs?
Well, they say European wild boar, and that has become a term to identify any pig that's wild. A boar is a boar. A boar is a male pig, but they say European wild boar. It could be.
All right. So this is our pig, and if when people don't know where everything comes from, we'll do a little explaining right quick. This is going to be the back leg down here. This is also known as the ham. That's what you would call a ham. And then the shoulder being up here is known as the butt. So pork butt actually comes from the front of the animal. The head was on here. We did make head cheese earlier this weekend, actually. So then, you want to give me a hand here? I'm going to flip over so I can see the inside here. So right here we've got, this is the loin area up here. This is going to be the tenderloin. These will be your baby back ribs right here. And then this is where your spare ribs would come from, is more closer to the belly. So that's why they're a little more tough. These are a little more tender because it's not worked so much. And this muscle is very, very tender up here. This is the diaphragm, so this is like a skirt steak essentially. And then you've got your belly down here, which is where you would get your bacon or pancetta. Like I said, your ham would be a cured ham. You can make prosciutto, culatello. You can make a cured, like country-style ham that you want to bake, or you can smoke it. And then, you can always use the bones and things like that for. Let's flip it back over this way. The bones for a stock or something like that. It's this area right here.
Okay.
So it would be like below the elbow, right around there. The loin's right. It's right underneath. It's about to make its appearance.
Is there a desirable temperature for the animal to be for butchering?
No, I like it cold because the meat tends to get really soft, and I like it a little more firm. But in the master class that we took, he actually said that. I mean, this is a guy who used to slaughter the pigs on the farm, but he likes them not hot but warm, like never chilled. And he says at that point you can actually just push the rib cage and they'll peel right from the meat. But now it's kind of adhered to it a little bit better. I've never done it like that, so I wouldn't be the person to ask. But I mean, I definitely like to do them cold. I wouldn't want to do it any warmer.
Food processor, and then you slowly add the olive oil to it to emulsify, just like mayonnaise.
California olive oil.
California.
Yay!
Super roasted to be exact. What's that? No, it's just the California olives.
Don't be afraid to eat the fat. Yeah.
That's the best part.
It's omega-3s too. We have learned that.
So when I'm tying the porchetta, I like to kind of secure it in the middle and on both of the ends, and then I start tying strings further down the roast. And you could do it with like a one continual string, like a kind of a butcher style tie. I do this like this here because we do a lot of retail, and people don't want to come in. People don't typically want to come in and buy 40 pounds of meat at once, so we sell them whatever size they want.
Inch and a half.
Inch and a half, exactly. Any of the air that's kind of built up in there, you don't want a lot of air in here. It's going to cause air pockets in there, and that won't be good for curing. And we have a needle, so there's always going to be a little bit of air that's going to build up in there, but we have a needle to poke all those holes and get all that air out of there. And since this is going to be a cured sausage, you want to go kind of tight when you're casing this up. This is going to be a fresh sausage. You go a lot looser because when you twist them, it's going to get tight in the middle of it.
How do you control that?
What's that now?
How do you control that?
The
You're saying you want it to go more tight and less tight?
well, you just allow more to go in there. You kind of just feel it out. So if you're not really sure, you can kind of go slower, and less is going to come out. But if you know if you're kind of comfortable doing it, then you can kind of let a little more go out. And if you think that you put too much in there and it might burst, what you can do is pull a little bit off of here, and then pick it up and just kind of squeeze it down.
You do something different if you're going to compress versus
Yeah, you want to, if they're going to be fresh, you want to make them not as tight, because if it's going to be cooked, then it's going to, that fat's going to start rendering in there, and it's going to start to expand a little bit, so you're going to risk the,
but flavor-wise, you don't do any cut-wise difference, or you,
no, whatever you want.
How did you get the cases all nicely according to love?
The way they are right now?
Well, no, on the where you...
Oh, well, I'm sorry. This is actually really cool. They come on these little plastic pieces here. So you just slide this end over the nozzle, and then just pull the sausages down. It's already ready for you. They're loaded up. We get these through Georgia Casings. Yeah, right?
We'd like a distributor of larger casing. Let's go to Georgia.
Like I said, these 14 to 28 days will be more than enough. If you're going to do something a little bit bigger, you could use like a beef middle, or you could use a synthetic casing. A beef middle is about that big, so it's just a little bit larger, and it's the same area of intestine as that we're using on the pig here. And those we're going to take probably anywhere from 30 to 60 days to dry. Something like that.